Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We are talking Monday, May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo for all of you who celebrate. I'm going to have 4 home run picks for you guys to lock in for tonight's MLB betting slate. One of them is pretty chalk, one of them is mildly chalk, and then 2 of them are long shots. So nice variety that we have with today's Dong Report. Very confident in the 4 plays that we have for today. Before we can get into those picks, we do have to do a recap from yesterday, which was tough. I got to be honest. I was very confident in these 3 plays yesterday. Cal Raleigh, Riley Green, and Alex Bregman. I really thought we were going to get at least one of these guys to hit a home run. There are some times where I'll choose a player that I'm a little bit iffy on, but the odds are really good, or some sources that I look at really like it or something. I'm not going to pretend yesterday. I loved them. I loved all 3 of them. Neither of them, none of them came through. None of the 3 of them hit a home run yesterday. We were down 0.85 units. We did get a home run on Saturday, so we remembered what it felt like, but we couldn't follow that up yesterday. Brings our total profit on the entire season. If you're following my unit size guiding, 7.3 units of profit. It's still pretty good in the grand scheme of things. 33 units of profit if you're just putting blindly 1 unit on every single home run play, and you don't want to bother with my unit size guiding, which I'm not going to judge anybody that does that. The most important thing here is this ROI, 19.95%. If we end the season at about 20% ROI, that would be a really good season. But the way we get there is obviously going to be a ride. We were at 100%, over 100% ROI after the first week. We were above 40%, 50% ROI before this recent cold streak. And now we're at about 10, 12 days of a rough stretch. Let's hope we can turn it around again. We got 4 guys for today. I love all 4 of them. Didn't have to convince myself of any of them. We can get into it. So I have Ballpark Pal up on the screen here. My favorite MLB tool. I use them every single day. I use them for home runs, but if you want to use them for strikeouts, you want to use them for stolen bases, walks, anything you can possibly think of, you can use Ballpark Pal for. So check them out if you're interested. I put a link to them both in the pinned comment and in the description. In terms of a weather perspective, time to put on my weatherman cap for today. Not great, gotta be honest. No game in the green from a weather perspective. Most of the games are in the red. Now this Marlins game, the reason why this one is in the red is because, not from a weather perspective, they just got a big stadium. Marlins have a pitcher's ballpark, so we see the outfields are longer than average. Not as bad to right field when you compare to left field, so lefties is a little bit better at Marlins Stadium, but that's why that you see that one in red. And it's the same thing with Chase Field. It's a dome. They just got a big park, so you see them. Same thing, wide outfield. It's the exact same proportions, so it's exactly equal between righties and lefties. But that's why you see those in the red. At least that's not -2 isn't terrible. But regardless, the 4 plays that we have for today, let's get into them. So number 1, I'm going back to Shohei Ohtani. I just cannot get this guy right on the right night. I bet him last week. He didn't hit a home run when I bet him, and then he hit one the next night. I bet him to hit a home run on Friday. He did not hit a home run. He hit one on Saturday. So I've just been circling the wagon trying to get Shohei Ohtani right. I do think we have him right tonight. So let's hope that ends up coming true. I mention this all the time and it hasn't come through. But when you're getting Ohtani at plus 285 with the true odds on Ballpark Pal at plus 240, that actually is a value. And you see from an odds perspective, FanDuel is a little bit above the market. 270 on DraftKings, 250 Caesars, 280 Bet365. So not a huge discrepancy between the odds, but you are obviously getting this best offer price on FanDuel. I put 0.4 units on this bad boy. Actually, looks like it went up to plus 290. Is that the case? Yeah, so you can actually get 290 on FanDuel now. I'm only going to track what I sent out, what I bet, because that's only fair. But I put 0.4 units on him to hit a home run as opposed to a quarter unit. So I did up my unit size a little bit because the odds are low for Ohtani. Now, Shohei Ohtani is just on absolute fire at the plate. It's ridiculous what this guy has been doing at the plate. Now, Fangraphs hasn't updated for yesterday's games yet. We see the last day is still May 3rd. But I'll show you what he did yesterday. But just look at the last 2 weeks in general, which is generally the time frame I look at for batters. 6 barrels is not amazing, but all of them have happened in the last, 8 games? So he went 4 straight games without hitting a barrel. He's done it in every single game except for 1 in this stretch, and he had a barrel yesterday. Sneak preview, he had a barrel yesterday. He has 20 hard hits in the last 2 weeks, which is amazing. 71% hard hit rate is amazing. And just look at these numbers. 4 hard hits, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3. He had 2 yesterday, which we'll talk about. You go to his batted ball stats because you want to make sure that, okay, he's hitting the ball hard. Congratulations. Is he putting the ball in the air? Yes, 42% fly ball rate, 32% ground ball rate. So 68% of the time, it's either a line drive or a fly ball, with fly balls being the highest value. And he's pulling it as well. The reason why pulling it is important, because the shortest the outfield is at the corner poles, right? So if you are not hitting the ball at a dead center field, you don't have to hit the ball as hard for it to be a home run. So very, very good numbers there. We're going over here to Baseball Savant, which is just where I'm looking at EV logs. And I'm showing you the game that Ohtani had yesterday. So he did not hit a home run yesterday. That's okay. Look what he did at the plate. Fly out, 399 feet. It was 110 miles per hour off the bat. I don't know how this doesn't clear a fence. I mean, how is because it went to dead center field, so he did not pull this one. Then he had another double. That was 109 miles per hour off the bat. So he had at least one barrel yesterday. This could be considered 2 because Fangraphs tracks barrels a little bit differently. Regardless, he stayed hot yesterday. And the pitching matchup he's going up against, Sandy Alcantara, once a Cy Young, I believe a Cy Young winner, at least a Cy Young candidate, came back from Tommy John. He's been terrible this year. Plus 10, extreme advantage in favor of Shohei Ohtani is not a surprise at all. These two actually just saw each other earlier this year. Guess what Ohtani did? Hit a no-doubt home run off of him. That was 114 miles per hour off the bat, traveled 394 feet. So this one he did pull, so it was a home run. And you look at the stats for Sandy Alcantara. I'm pulling him up on Game Day Insights. Now, this one is behind a paywall. I don't have an agreement with them, so if you want to sign up, I'm not going to stop you. Sandy's really, really struggled against left-handed hitters. We see here home run per 9 of 2.08, 12.5% barrel rate is terrible, 51% hard hit rate is terrible. That fly ball rate actually isn't that bad. That's lower than what we would like, but everything else is terrible for him. And Shohei has been smacking the baseball, so 285 for him is actually a decent price when you consider Shohei Ohtani. So that's going to be our first play of the video, is Shohei Ohtani to hit a home run. Let's hope finally I can get him on a right night, because it's just been like every other, and I've been betting him on the wrong ones. I've been one day lated by him twice in the last 5 days, which is very frustrating, but that's dong life. That's play number 1. Play number 2 is a guy that's been a favorite, a guy that has come through for us recently. Not quite as hot at the plate, but also not ice cold. We're going with Oneil Cruz to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 420 odds at FanDuel. You're still getting the best price there. Did put a quarter unit on this bad boy, so we are good to go there. Above plus 400 means we put a quarter unit on it. Now, one thing that I probably should look at more, but I haven't really been looking at a lot, is just like odds discrepancy across the books. And that's one in favor of this play for Oneil Cruz. 420 is the best offered price on FanDuel. The next closest book is Fanatics at plus 350. Then we have ESPN Bet at plus 325. But we see like Caesars plus 290, PointsBet plus 260, DraftKings plus 280, Hard Rock plus 260. They all have them in the 200s. And you look at just positive expected value calculated by just like kind of looking at the odds across the book and then seeing where the outlier is. That is what we have here with Oneil Cruz, the highest positive EV play of the day. And you know, he's at plus 420 odds, so it's not like he's super high. Like, yeah, when someone's at plus 220, plus 1700, yeah, or plus 2200, I should say, plus 1700, plus 900, plus 800, you see that they're going to be higher EV. He's the highest, and he's at plus 420, and that is something that I do value. I should be more odds conscious than I am. So looking at Oneil Cruz, he's not quite as hot as he was, right? You look at his game log. I'm looking at the last 6 games here. So he hasn't hit a home run in his last 6 games. Now, again, this doesn't include yesterday. For whatever reason, they're just slow to update the games yesterday, so we'll talk about yesterday as well. But looking at the last 6 games here, 4 barrels isn't bad. 7 hard hits isn't amazing. It's over 1 per game. But that exit velocity is he's smacking the baseball when he makes contact, which is why you see that 70% hard hit rate. The issue with him, he was walked 4 times back on May 3rd. He only got to actually make contact with the baseball once. And what he did to it, he barreled it up, left the bat at 118 miles per hour. That's ridiculous. He's been striking out a decent amount, 2 strikeouts. That's fine, because that means he's swinging for the fences. So as long as he's not getting walked 4 times, 2 times, I'm okay with striking out a couple times as well. But you look at his batted ball statistics, 50% fly ball rate, 50% pull rate. So he's hitting the ball hard when he's making contact. and he's putting the ball in the air, and he's pulling it. So none of those numbers are anything that scares me off. And you look at what he did at the plate yesterday. It wasn't the most amazing game for Oneil Cruz. He had one hard hit, and it did not have the launch angle to do anything, only 6-degree launch angle, but it was 109.8 miles per hour off the bat. So it kind of continued his run of maybe not getting like 4 a game, which he had been doing, but still having success overall. And you look at him over the last 2 weeks, and he's been among the hardest, the best hitters in baseball. We're looking at the last 2 weeks here. This is a report that I built on FanGraphs. Look at total barrels. Oneil Cruz is third, actually tied for second with 9. 2 guys ahead of him with 10, and he's the only one with 9. So you like look at him over the last 2 weeks, very good. That fly ball rate is a little bit low at 45%, but that pull rate is high, so that's okay. And that exit velocity is just ridiculous. 21 hard hits in that stretch as well. So a lot of this was done like 2 to 1 week ago as opposed to in the last week, but still nothing scary. But the biggest thing here is I really want to fade this pitcher, Miles Mikolas, and you're going to wonder why he hasn't allowed a single home run yet this year. Those are outlier numbers that I just have a hard time believing is going to continue game over game. You look at his advanced numbers, does not show a pitcher we should be scared of. Barrel rate allowed, 9%. Hard hit rate, 43%, all along with his career average. Actually a career high in barrel rate. Launch angle, also a career high. How is this guy not allowing home runs? You look at him like his K rate is down, his walk rate is up, so that's a little bit like guys aren't making as much contact, but there's no reason why this guy should be allowing 0 home runs. His splits, he's slightly worse against lefties. That's good for the Oneil Cruz, like the average, on-base percentage, slugging, WOBA, all higher against lefties. You look at even more advanced stats, like BABIP, WHIP, all that stuff is all like XFIP, FIP, all higher against lefties. And looking at his even more advanced numbers, that ground ball rate, 28%. Lefties are hitting him in the air 72% of the time, 50% of the time they're pulling it, and the hard hitter at 34% is not good. So I know I'm going along with this. I know I can kind of get obsessed with the numbers and the details, but I just kind of wanted to show you that this is not a pitcher we should be scared of. So I went with Oneil Cruz to hit a home run at plus 420, sick number there. Another guy that I do think is really good that I was close to going with is Bryan Reynolds. Him being at plus 700, that is plus EV. That is plus EV according to Ballpark Pal as well. They do like Bryan Reynolds a lot. What led me, and he was on my, he was an honorable mention for me. What led me to Oneil Cruz is as hard as Reynolds has been hitting the ball, and he has been hitting the ball very hard, he hasn't quite been putting it in the air. Like you look at him over the last 2 weeks, and I'm just looking at the Pirates here. His hard hits are great, but the issue, Bryan Reynolds, 32% fly ball rate, 40% pull rate. I like one of those to be above 50 or both to be above 40, which isn't really the case. And you look at the last week, which is where he's been really hot, like you see he actually has more hard hits than Oneil Cruz, 29% fly ball rate, 40% pull rate, and ground ball rate of almost 50%. So that's kind of my issue with Bryan Reynolds. He'd be a better like 2+ bases, 4+ bases kind of bet as opposed to a home run. So yeah, that's play number 2 officially is Oneil Cruz with a shout out at Bryan Reynolds. Next up, my third play is Daniel Schneemann. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I'm taking him to hit a home run. He is at a very nice juicy price of plus 680 to hit a home run. So I'm taking him. We're still getting it at plus 680, so no issues there. Quarter unit on this bad boy. This is a positive EV play according to Ballpark Pal, plus 680. We see that highlighted orange. Another plus EV play when you look at the books as well. 480 on Caesars is absurd. 550 on Fanatics, and then Bet365 are a little bit closer, but pretty good play across the board. So when you look at Daniel Schneemann, the biggest thing here is you want to target a lefty against Jake Irvin, who is very much not good against lefties, and you want to target a lefty that puts the ball in the air, which is what Daniel Schneemann does. Now you look at his game log. And he's really good against righties, which we'll talk about, but he had a game 2 days ago, which, again, this is going to show us his last game. This was May 3rd. I don't know why Fanatics is being so slow to update their game logs, but it's not a big deal. You look at the last 2 weeks for Schneemann. He's been pretty good. I mean, 6 barrels. Granted, 3 of them happened in the same game, but still, I mean, that's a really good number. 28% barrel rate, 11 hard hits over the last 2 weeks isn't amazing, but that hard rate at 52% is pretty good. Granted, when you have 4 of them in the same game, yeah, that your numbers are going to be a little bit weighted. Fly ball rate above 45%, pull rate above 40%. So both of them above that number. That's good to go. But he like really hits righties hard and doesn't do much against lefties. So if you look at his righty splits specifically, things are going to look a lot better. ISO rate of 302 against right-handed pitching is really, really good. And I think this might have been updated because this was just 297 when I checked earlier. 424 WOBA, WRC plus 181, really good numbers. So his ground ball rate is a little bit higher than what we would like on the season, but that pull rate is almost at 50%. And then we know recently he's been putting the ball in the air a little bit better. So yesterday he had one hard hit. It was not quite what we look for a home run, but it wasn't terrible either. And it was above 100 miles an hour, which is good. A double 16 degree launch angle. We just need that a little bit higher, but that's not bad. 105 miles per hour off the bat is very, very good. Now the pitcher he's going up against, that is the most important thing here, is Jake Irvin against lefties is disgustingly bad. He's allowed 6 home runs overall. He's allowed 8 on the season, 6 of them to left-handed hitters, 10% barrel rate, 44% hard hit rate. Fly ball rate and line drive rate above 50% for a pitcher is disgusting. 267 ISO rate, all that stuff is really, really bad. And you look at Schneemann against righties over the last 2 weeks, 41% barrel rate, 88% hard hit rate, 55% fly ball rate. Sorry, that's against four-seam fastball. Sorry. Either way, the numbers are still good. 20%, 50%, 31% fly ball rate. Against the four-seam fastball and the changeup, which is what he's going to see, not the majority of the time because that's the curveball. He doesn't have a lot of sample size against the curveball, but against these two, which you'll see number 2 and 3, absolutely annihilates them. Best numbers on the Guardians by far. 37% barrel rate, 76% hard hit rate, and the fly ball rate. Look at him putting the ball in the air. Even if you look at over the last month, it's not just this recent hot streak. Yeah, the numbers aren't as good, but they're still very good. And look at what this guy's done against this pitch mix. Now, it's a lot of four-seam fastballs, but even if you just look at the changeup, still best on the Guardians. Now, the curveball, like I said, he's got 4 at-bats. None of them are really that good, but I'm not going to do much off of 4 at-bats, and the biggest thing are the four-seam fastball and the changeup. So Daniel Schneemann to hit a home run plus 680 odds at FanDuel is a really good price that I think has a lot of good things about it. That's play number 3. And then our 4th and final pick of the video, and I'll try to be quicker with this one because I know I'm getting long-winded. I'm taking Brandon Nimmo to hit a home run. Part of the reason why I really like him is because of the odds. You look at the odds here. 750 on FanDuel is awesome. 400 on Caesars is disgusting. Look at every other book. Fanatics is close at 700, but 550, 400, 575, 525. If you look at the positive EV tool, it's the next highest EV play. Oneil Cruz was 14.9. Brandon Nimmo was 14.8%. Granted, I mentioned the higher the numbers go, you're going to have wider ranges. That's still the second highest play. That's still pretty good. So we're looking at Brandon Nimmo. And again, I wish that we could update for yesterday's game logs because he did not hit a home run yesterday, but and the Mets had a doubleheader. He had 5 hard hits combined in the 2 games yesterday, so 3 and then 2. He had 3 of them were above 100 miles an hour, and 2 of them were put in the air. Now, of course, Fangraphs isn't loading, but I'll show you what I mean. I'll go back to the exit velocity logs on Baseball Savant. So here's the first game. Brandon Nimmo, let's actually go to the box score first. He had 3 hard hits. That's really good. He had a double 22-degree launch angle. That's a home run in 13 of 30 stadiums. That's pretty good. 350 feet. He gets a little bit more under that. That's a home run. He also had a ground out. That's not what we're looking for, but still above 100 miles an hour. And then he had a fly out. He just needed to hit this one a little bit harder or get a little more under it. But that's 2 hard hits that were fly outs, 2 also above 100 miles an hour. And then the second game wasn't quite as good as the first one, but we're still looking at a fly out. He had a fly out. Here we go. 99.2 miles per, or 99.2 EV. Again, just get a little more under that. That's probably leaving the stadium. And then he had another line out, 107 miles per hour off the bat. Just a little bit too over it that time. But we see him hitting the ball really hard. You look at the last 2 weeks for Brandon Nimmo, and we see a batter that has been hitting the ball hard. Then again, this doesn't include the 2 games yesterday. 4 barrels, but had at least probably 2 or 3 yesterday. 21 hard hits is good. And that ground ball rate is a little bit high and that pull rate is a little bit low, but it's been better recently. So we're looking at the last 2 weeks. We look at the last, he hit a home run back on May 2nd, then he hit 2 home runs back on the 28th. So he has been still hitting the ball hard and putting the ball in the air. Those numbers are a little bit lower than what we look for, but we're getting in that all the way up at plus 750, which is a little bit crazy. Again, this one is a little bit lower from an like a stadium perspective, but that's just because the long outfields in Chase Field, you get a hold of one, the weather isn't going to impact it. And the pitchers going up against Ryan Nelson isn't the worst pitcher in the world. He's been fine. He's a little bit worse against lefties. Like, he's only allowed 1 home run on the year, and that home run actually came, I believe, against a lefty. Okay, I thought I had that mixed up. But he allows slightly more power against lefties. Like, we see that average and on-base percentage is higher against righties, but the slugging is higher. The WOBA is a little bit lower, but mostly the same. And fly ball rate increases by like 23%, and hard hit rate is about the same. So it's really just he's allowing guys to put the ball in the air significantly more. He's allowing lefties too. So I like Brandon Nimmo. I like the odds a lot on him to hit a home run. Plus 680 is a really good price. 750. It was 750. There we go. 750 for him to hit a home run. I went down to 700. I'm still taking it. I'm still good there. But yeah, those are our 4 plays for today. So we're looking at Shohei Ohtani. This was plus 285. Oneil Cruz at plus 420. Schneemann at plus 680. And Brandon Nimmo at plus, I guess now 700. I got it at 750. Those are our 4 plays for today. The best offered price, if you want to parlay them, is going to be on FanDuel. Real quick, I don't want to go through the details, but the guys that were on my notes list that I didn't bet were Bo Naylor, Ben Rice, and Matt Olson. Those were the 3 that left off. I didn't want to have 2 games, these both for the Guardians. Rice has been a little bit too cold for my taste, and Olson's good, but he's just been hitting way too many line drives and not enough fly balls. So either way, if you want to do something with those 3, I won't stop you. But the 4 official plays that we have for today, if we get one of them to hit a home run, we're making money. If we get multiple to hit a home run, we're making a lot of money. And if we can get all 4, we will profit 5.77 units on only 1.15 units risked. Let's hope that happens. I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out Ballpark Pal if you're interested. Check out my Tails account, which is just this screen I've been showing you. This is just where I send all my plays out early. So if you don't want to watch the videos or you want to get them early, whatever, check it out. Bet responsibly and have a good one.